Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Got something going on here. Woman in her 30s cries describing finally wanting kids after swearing off marriage. Betrayed by feminism. Is that what she says? She's saying feminism betrayed her? A woman said she felt betrayed by feminism. You see, that's why you know you're dealing with a crazy person. An idea can't betray you. You made a decision, you subscribe to an ideology, and you made decisions in your life based on what you wanted at the time. And the fact that you now realize that you were wrong and then you want something else, and the way you were going about it wasn't going to get you that, instead of taking personal responsibility for the decisions that you made that led you to a path that you don't want to be on, and then changing in order to adapt to get what you want, you shift the blame to an ideology that you no longer want to be associated with. That is childish behavior, ma'am. After deciding she wanted to settle down, have a family and a husband, as she approached 39th birthday, it's game over. They said 30 at the beginning there. She's 39. 30s? That's the last of the 30s. It's game over, bruh. You know how much money she would have to spend on like fertility treatments just to get. At one point during the interview with Fox, she broke down crying, describing how she feared she would end up alone and childless. You feared that. Sweetheart, you 39. It, you had a lot of time to change course. A lot. You were a grown woman who made grown ass woman decisions. No one else made them for you. If you're suffering the consequences, it's not because of feminism. All right. Anybody can believe in anything, but if that thing that they believe in is no longer getting them what they wanted, the results that they wanted, it behooves them to change. It's not feminism's fault that you failed. It's your fault. It is your fault. Melissa Persling recently wrote an essay for Business Insider titled, I am 38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified I've missed my opportunity. She said after it went viral in November, hate began to pour in from men telling her that she's lived a selfish life. Persling has a much different account of her story. Um, but she did live a selfish life. She didn't want children, and she lived her life for herself. She satisfied her needs and her wants by herself. And I would assume she's single. So she did live a selfish life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with living a selfish life, but that's what you did. And now you want something else, and you want someone else to provide it for you. And instead of taking accountability, you blame something else. You blame other people. You're going to blame the other feminists who believed in the same thing you did and had no part to play in your decisions. When Persling was 22, she married a traditional man, moved to a rural community in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where she grew up. Sounds like she got bored of that, of that life. He wanted a simple life with children and home cooked meals, she said. However, Persling, despite coming from a religious Christian background, made it clear to her husband to be that she didn't want children. So, yeah, I would say that was on him. He married her, and she made it clear beforehand that she didn't want children. And he's traditional, and he comes from a religious Christian background. I would assume he came from that same background that she did. And he married her still. At the end of the day, she made her desires clear. She communicated what she wanted, and if their marriage didn't work, it's his fault. But now that she wants something different and she realized she made the wrong decision, he probably has his family that he wanted, and she never got that family. At the time, I felt strongly I did not want children, that I wasn't going to be like a traditional housewife. I knew I had to pursue, I knew I did want to pursue a career in, she told Fox News. I felt very strongly that that would never change, and I guess I was wrong. Of course you were wrong, ma'am. Why would you want to spend your entire life on a career? Hersling said both her and her ex thought that love could conquer everything. Love didn't conquer countries. Love didn't conquer land. Love didn't even. Anyways. But after 10 years, it was clear that their differences in their life's goal was irreconcilable. It sounds like he was an idiot and she was deluded. So there was the blind leading the blind. Persling said she became resentful when he would ask for dinner or for his laundry to be done. What, didn't he made it clear that he wanted home cooked meals and stuff like that? But she said she didn't want children. She didn't say anything about she didn't want to cook and stuff. Was he paying the bills? Was she paying half the bills with her career? I did a little to hide my disdain for our small town life. He was a good and hardworking man, but I don't think I made him feel that way. Well, he's a dumbass. He shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. And you should have not gotten married to him in the first place. You should have said no. Both of you should have said no. Like all the signs that it wasn't going to work was there. At 30, Persling and her ex divorced. She swore off the idea of marriage. After getting married, she swore off that. I told my friends and family I have never get married again. I needed independence and a fulfilling career, a space to chart my own course, and I don't think marriage fit into that vision. I was content to look towards the future without a husband, children, or trappings of traditional life, she wrote. She grew older, however, blah, blah, blah. When she turned 38, terror began to take over. I was panic stricken. I really thought I was going to be alone forever. It really scared me. It seems to me that what changed was the thought that she was getting older and that she didn't have more time to just meet somebody and settle down. Because she realized at her age, as she get to a certain age, her options of who's going to even choose to settle down with her is going to be like some short, fat dude or possibly a weird, skinny, submissive type of dude. And she just uh, didn't want that for her life. But where the children thing came in, because if she realized she wanted children, I would think that would come sooner than 38. That seems like an end of the line kind of thing. Like you would realize that around 30, 32. I don't want people, she said, I don't want people to miss out on important things in life because they're just enjoying themselves, because I don't think that that's ever going to really make you happy. Okay, so she's giving people advice now. What's her career? Giving people advice? I hardly recognize myself. I also began to feel selfish for spending so much time focusing totally on myself. My very existence started to feel shallow and hollow. Well, I know selfishness is a bad word to a lot of people, but it is the natural state of all intelligent creatures. Uh, you got to think about yourself. You have to. You literally can't help anybody if you don't think about yourself. Because if you don't take care of your problems, then you become a problem that other people have to take care of. In retrospect, personally believe she had some self-discovery and work for herself to do. Why would you believe that? You're out of time, ma'am. You use up all the time. You're out of it. You can't afford to use any more of it to do nonsense. You've already done that. Sort through previous trauma, a parent's divorce, which she described as coming from a broken home. That's probably why she didn't want to get married and do that family stuff, because of the divorce. I grew up in a fairly traditional family, but my parents were divorced, and I would say that probably had some effect on my feelings about having a family. I'm from a broken home. Yeah, yeah, lady. It seems like she was not an independent thinker. She just kind of felt some type of way, and she went with it. She uh, she felt like, you know, being from a small town, being from the kind of background she was, people just get married. So she got married to a guy that was traditional or whatever. She felt like she discovered feminism, and she felt like all the talking points that feminism told her, she got to get a career, she got to do something for herself, she can't rely on a man. She did all of that. And now she realized she wants something else out of life. She wants someone to be there with her, and she wants children. And now she's saying that feminism failed her. I would not take advice from this woman. She seems like someone that's floating through life, and she's never had an original thought in her entire life. And she's just attaching herself to whatever the latest thing she's feeling is. Although I would agree with the whole feminism failed you and all that stuff, I would agree with that. But coming from this woman, the way she's thinking and the way she comes to conclusions, I don't think she would be a great spokesperson to um, convey the idea. Anyways, until next time.